Hi, all, and welcome to Monday night's All Meta Mode podcast with myself, Amanda Digger DeGaz, and we have Mike Air on the phone. Hair, not air. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm good. How do you say metal again? It sounds like metal.
Metal?
Metal. You definitely have that accent down good.
Ugh,
Yep, I'm here. Sorry.
I'm getting into the podcast. So, tonight we need a little help from our listeners. I know that doing the test on this end, Mike has been a little echoey. So, if you are hearing echo, please let us know. Yeah.
Hopefully we're okay. Yeah. Um, Amanda just got a hold of me today, and she said, "I miss you so much. I want to kick Gypsy off the show tonight and have you on." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll do it." Just kidding. Where's Gypsy at now? I can't keep up lately.
I think she was just getting home from Utah.
Yeah, Utah. I can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah, I know.
That'll be really cool.
It will. It'll be awesome. I mean, the amount of traveling she's been doing lately is pretty crazy.
Right. So are we good? What's everybody saying?
Um, Everyone said you were too low, so I've turned you up a little bit. Um, and I cannot I can't I can't sign into the chat.
Oh no.
Um, so I can't write back. So if you all, I can see what you're writing, but I can't write. Um, so it looks like, all right, could barely hear Mike. Can you all hear Mike now?
Testing 1, 2, 3. This is Mike.
Sounds good. All right, awesome. We got a couple
Good
sounds
deal.
good. I turned you back up, so hopefully everyone can hear you okay. And if there is an echo, just definitely say so.
Yeah, good deal.
All
So what are we
right.
talking about tonight?
So, let's see. It has been quite a while, right? I know that
Yeah, it has.
I have swung, I know you and I talked a little bit about this earlier. So I have swung whites for the last 9 years. And as of Tuesday, I got a Garrett Apex. Thanks to Brian at the Digger's Den for getting that here quickly. But yeah, so I ordered the Apex to kind of give it a try at this excavation site that I have. There's probably only like a week or two more before the property owner starts pouring concrete into the foundation footprint. So
Mm,
it's this is early, like I'm finding 1740s, eight and early 18, like 1819 coins and stuff. Um, so it's old. And I know that
that's awesome.
I was like, you know what, wouldn't get a new machine and definitely give it a try. So I know going from the whites to the Apex. So for the weights, I have swung the MX Sport and the MX7 that I simultaneously, I swap back and forth depending on if I need waterproof or not. So predominantly at the site, I've been using the MX7. So Apex came in, put it together. It was very easy to put together, very similar to the white setup, which was awesome. And then turned it on. Well, technically, I plugged everything in, plugged the headphones in, plugged the machine in, and let it charge overnight. And the next day, I gave it a go and brought it out back and threw a couple items that I have found. And did the iron with them as well to kind of test it and just see how the numbers were. The numbers are very similar to the MX7 that they ring the apex rings up higher on items. So, say large cents, a large cent on the MX7 was coming up, 84 to an 86. On the Apex, it was actually going up to almost a 90. So that's something I'm gonna have to consciously think of when I'm using the Apex is because when I got a 90 or higher, usually on the MX7, it was big iron. So that's one
Yeah,
thing.
I'm sure it'll take a little getting used to. I can't wait until you have some more time on it and you can compare it to
Yeah.
your other machines.
Yep. I would have had more time on it, but for some reason the wireless headset kept coming unpaired. So I'd be, going along, get a good signal, dig it up. It would be a piece of copper, just it's a junk copper. But then I continue on, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why is there no sound? And then I realized that the sound was coming out of the machine, and I'm like, why did that just stop working? And the property owner has a dog, so the dog does not like the beeping. So after four
That's
times of it
funny.
becoming unpaired, I'm like, all right, I'm going to spare them and switch back to the MX7. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So
you had a little time on it too, didn't you?
yeah, um well, I followed Gypsy around when she first got it before it even came out, and I was really impressed. I think I come on the show and talked about um how good it did in the iron. It wasn't fumbling with iron so much, and then I spent the better part of a day out with Gypsy a few weeks after and used it, and yeah, I think it's a really good detector that's kind of underrated. I still stand behind. I think they made a mistake calling it an ace. I think so many people dismissed it
Yeah.
because of that,
Is your house going to burn
and
down?
still do. Can you hear that?
Are you okay? Are you safe?
No, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. We're all good.
I'm like, geez, Mike, your fire detector's going off.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. No, we're
Okay.
good.
Okay, good.
I'm sure it'll go out. It'll go out on its own.
All right. Yeah. Bill wanted to know, said that you need to put a new battery in.
Right, right. Actually, it was the alarm being set.
Ah.
Sorry, guys.
So now
Let me be able to.
you are in Ohio. Are you planning on
Mm-hmm.
getting out at all soon?
No, not really. It's really hot here, and you know how much I field hunt. If something good comes along, of course I would. But I've been so busy with work, and I was really busy with work until I hurt myself. I had to have surgery on my foot, and this is week 6 of being down. And I last week, or is this week 7? Maybe week, oh yeah, this is week 6. So week 5, I was finally able to put weight on my heels. So no, probably not. It's super hot and dry here right now.
Gotcha.
No, I'm super boring right now.
That's okay. It's all right. It's
But
been a long time since you've been on, so glad to have you on, and I'm sure everyone in chat is too.
I don't think I haven't been out since Gypsy was here, but the day after she left, I started a new job, and then I've been working so many hours and usually 6 days a week, or at least like day off because of rain. Well, then you can't, and then work, and so it's just been crazy. I haven't had time to do anything.
Hmm.
Well, I shouldn't say that. And then it's been hot. I just haven't been. I I just haven't been into it over the summer.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, it's been quite a while before I've picked up a detector. I know that I did that hunt in Keene, and that was the first time I've picked up the detector in a while, and then I haven't picked up the detector until like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I've been having fun with doing the mudlarking and the river river hunting and dump digging. So when you start finding coins and silver, mudlarking, and all the things that you hope for, metal detecting, it's been hard to go like, no, I'm not going to mudlark today. I'm going to metal detect. When you can look at when you mudlark, you're coming home with, three bottle stoppers, a bunch of clay pipes, a silver coin.
Mm. You know what? I don't know. I'm sure Gypsy talked about it, but I never got to talk about while Gypsy was here. That was a fun time. Um, we had so many field sites lined up. I, um, I've got a permission where there's a house site that I know that I barely got to detect. And then I suspected there was another one earlier on the property.
Hmm.
And Gypsy and I found it right off our first morning. And it was old. I mean, what came out of there was just a few old buttons, but that's it. Like a virgin field site, and all that came out of it was a few, maybe 5 or 6 buttons total. And I don't think anything else other than like little pieces of wadded up copper, but hardly anything. There was no modern junk, no. And the earliest map in this area is 1858, so it was gone before 1858. I checked all the maps, and that was never there. So you would have thought we would have done better. And then we went down and spent a good a long day with Donnie, a good friend of mine in southeastern Ohio, and I found some good buttons, found some good stuff, but we, the big thing was the large cent.
Yeah.
And then a good friend of my brother's, who real nice guy. I had never met him, but we went over with his family, and I'm sure Gypsy told you the story, but like I was getting, this is our last day. I'm getting stressed. Like she hasn't found the large cent yet, and some good decent field stuff was being found, but we weren't finding any coins. She hadn't found a large cent, and the the people that we were at their house, his father-in-law owns a bunch of land, a bunch of farmland. So we started off where we knew there was a house. The house is still standing, really old. And we started hunting around that. And he brought his family down, and he's got 2 teenage kids. And his daughter found a large cent. I think it was her first or second hole. She'd never metal detected. And this is what I'm talking about, them Southern girls, those Texas girls. Like Gypsy was so nice and so happy for her, but I'm telling you, in her soul, I could feel the anger. I could feel it, and the jealousy. No, not really, but like I felt so guilty. Like, oh, not even guilty, but just bad for her. And then the next target she dug was a large cent, so that was really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a whole large scent too, wasn't it?
if I remember right,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. And then I went and while they were detecting there, oh, it was so nice because we had a side by side. So I was running fields looking for different sites, and we found 2 more, but just didn't. Neither one of them produced. But it's hard when you're jumping around day after day. Like when we went to Donnie's, we hunted 1, 2, 3 sites, and there was actually another one to be hunted, and we didn't even get to it.
Hmm.
So, but we had fun. It was a lot of fun. Gypsy, and I think Gypsy, her favorite thing was we were at the back of this one property, and there's like just this little patch of woods, but it was like a bowl. And Gypsy went down in there and was grabbing bottles and old license plates and all kinds of stuff she took back. hmm
Hmm.
I think she liked that as much as anything.
Yeah.
But she's good. We had a good time.
That's great. No, that's great. I know she's talked about how much fun she had out there, but it's great hearing it from your side as well.
it was fun. I miss it, and then like I said, I started work the next day, and I just haven't even had time to do much. I've done a little research being down. I should be good and ready for spring or fall. I mean,
Yeah, I can't
so
wait.
there's that
So you must have crops on the field
thing.
then.
Yeah, we have crops on the fields. We
Do you
sure
have any
do.
do you have any hay fields out there? Like, are they doing first cut or anything?
You know what? A buddy of mine just cut a field, and I got to see. He does have some property that is produced before. I found some old house sites and stuff, and I'm wondering where that field's at. So I was going to get a hold, but I can't even. I'm not going to go out. Excuse me, go out metal detecting, hobbling around on one foot. So
Yeah. Yep. No, that makes sense. Don't need to get hurt more.
right, right. Yeah, I'm just now really starting to hobble around and get around a little bit.
I know I saw a question for you. Um, are you still doing the UK show? I think I saw. To everyone in chat, I can't log in to respond to anybody, but I'm trying to monitor it. But yeah, Mike, that's I something about are you still doing the UK show at all?
We haven't done the UK show in a long time, and I haven't been part of it for a while because Randy and then work, like my work schedule is so up, and I don't know what it's going to be one week to the next or how late I'm going to be out each day kind of thing.
Hmm.
So it's been real tough. But no, I quit doing the UK show a long time ago. Um, it was just hard to do with everything going on.
I'm sure the time difference doesn't help at all.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. So, and with everything that's gone on, like mom being sick and different things, it's been yeah, just too much. But I miss doing the podcast. I do. I've just been so busy with everything. But maybe again,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I'm always down for being a guest if I know ahead of time, I can come on and join you and stuff.
And I'm sure Gypsy will appreciate that too. I had sent her a message too. I'm like, we're gonna be talking a little bit about the Apex tonight. We're gonna be in your wheelhouse. Because I had also told her about the problem with the pairing, and she's like, oh, that's weird. So, yeah, that's my plan to this week, later on this week, is to really figure out what's going on. I'm gonna recharge everything back up and then give it a go again. It's hard when you know you have a
Yeah.
backup detector that's a phenomenal detector. So I'm like, try to get as much out of the site and then, work with the new one at my steady other places that I have that I know aren't going anywhere
Yeah.
anytime soon.
Now, do you have anything new lined up for the winter, fall?
I do have a couple fields that I'm going to be waiting. We actually got quite a few acres of woods that on LiDAR actually shows that there was definitely a couple places out there to check. Excuse me, to
Mm,
check. So that will be exciting. Yeah, that's new, untouched. And then permission for another site that, the property owner, he said, oh, we had a couple guys came out once. He goes, I don't know what they found. They said that they'd show me if they found anything. He goes, but they didn't show me anything, so they probably didn't find anything. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
right,
Because
right.
it's near one of my other permissions. It's like basically across the street from one of my other permissions that has just been, Maine State Militia buttons and early
Oh,
large sense. So I'm like, oh no, there's no way they didn't find anything. But to each their own if they don't want to
or
show. So
or
that
maybe
site,
they didn't.
yeah, they might not have
Maybe
found
they didn't know what
anything.
they were doing. Well, they
True.
might not have known what they were doing, or
Yep.
who knows.
Yep. It's crazy lately though. So in my area, I've really only seen two other detectorists. One was when I didn't have a detector, and probably 9 years ago. I saw him in one of the creeks that I walk. And, I think I just gotten a detector and I waved and I'm like, hey, hey, wanting to talk to him. And he kind of looked at me and then started going further down the river. I was like,
Oh
okay,
my God.
he must not want to talk to me. um,
Right?
maybe
That's just me.
Nah, it was like maybe I seemed too super enthusiastic, and he just was like, "Nope, not dealing with this today." And then actually a few weeks ago, I was driving down the street and I saw like four detectives. They were walking to their vehicles. I'm like, "Oh my
Really?
gosh, yeah!" It was pretty. I'm like, again, I wanted to be like, "Hey, oh my God," because we don't, I don't see them around here. I mean, I've heard of them. They're like legends. Yeah, some
Really?
detectorists came to my property and left holes or, blah blah blah.
Oh,
Those type. So to actually see some, I'm like, oh wow, they're real.
yeah. Just be careful of those. Giving
Mhm.
neighbors bad name.
Yep.
I hate
Yep.
when that happens.
Yeah, the one that's been hitting the older cemeteries around here is really the one that I would like to bump into and go,
Oh,
you're
hitting the old cemeteries?
Yep. Yep. So I want to go, you're ruining it. Stop doing
You're
that.
making people mad. Stop it.
Yeah. And the thing
Yeah.
is, they might have gotten the okay or whatnot, but they didn't because the one of my property owners checked with the church, checked
Oh,
with and they were like, no, we know, because it's something I had thought of doing the land that's not yet, doesn't have graves in it. They have a lot of property that stretches out that's old. And I'd contemplated going to them and asking that, but then, you know, when they asked, and then the property owner, she passed away now, but she used to call it dowsing. She's like, I saw there was a man dowsing in the cemetery today. And I'm like, what? She's like, he won't
oh,
steal my husband's pocket watch, will he? And I'm like, oh my God.
wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So she had checked with the church and the maintenance people, and they're like, no, nobody's allowed to be detecting in here. Because, they might have gotten the
Mm,
okay to, find a plaque or things like that. I do know that that happens. People get approval to look for certain things.
right. But no such luck on that one, huh?
Nope. So
That's not good.
I go by every once in a while and check it out. See who might be walking around.
Yeah, check. Throw them out. I
Yep.
could see you beating up on somebody. I don't know.
I
It
wouldn't
could be
be,
possible over detecting.
yeah, I would be, well, I think I'd honestly have words, and I do carry my mace, I do carry my knife, depending on where I am, I carry, and but I would never, it would be words first and foremost.
Before it turned into you stabbing somebody.
Yes, yep. And then it would probably turn into, I'm going to take your picture. And if you don't, and
Oh,
if I ever catch you doing this again, I will blast it everywhere.
right, right.
I will make
Oh,
posters
that's
and
funny.
put it around town.
Right. Yikes. Scary. Put them all over Facebook. There you go.
Yep. Put them at every street sign, every crosswalk. Well, the thing is, a lot of times, especially when the bugs are bad, I have my hair up. I have it in the hat. If you're far away and you just see someone with a detector, and then you've got someone coming to your door and asking if they can detect, I don't want that person. I don't want to be associated with that. Were
Right,
you
right.
over at the graveyard? No.
No, not me.
Yep.
No, yeah, I know. There's people like that out there.
Yes.
They
Yes, not
like to
much.
hurt the hobby, I guess.
I
Mhm.
learned
There's
something
always
new.
drama like that. Always.
Yes, true. I learned something new too. I didn't know every state had had an archaeology like place that you're supposed to submit your finds. Like,
What?
have you ever heard that?
No.
No, so I pulled up and oh yeah, Maine does. I was like, well, it's a good thing I've been on private properties. I'm like, I didn't know you're supposed to submit fines and, not
What? Are you
submit them, but
serious?
pictures of them. And there's like a submission form about what you found and where you found it. Yeah, there's a whole, I know Maine has it. I don't know about other states, but somebody had said
Is
that to
it like
me.
mandatory?
I don't know. Someone had said that to me, and they're like,
Uh
this,
oh.
yeah, they're like, this is the reason why, more and more parks and stuff are being shut down to metal detectors is because they're not submitting their fines. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I didn't even know such thing
Have you
existed.
looked it up? Is that just somebody saying it or?
Nope, Maine has it. I need to look further into seeing like it didn't really say what type of fines, so I don't know if some places you'd think like in foreign countries it's certain years, right? If it's so and so old, but they have liaisons that you can go to and say, "Hey, I found this." And then they
Well, yeah, in
document it.
England.
Yeah, but I didn't think the United States did. And then when I pulled up Maine,
We
Maine's
need to
got
put
one.
somebody in chat on this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of people saying this is the first time they've ever heard it. I don't know. Isn't
Hmm.
that weird though? I was like, I just, ah, yeah.
Are you sure they're not talking about a permit? I know most, well, all states, I think, like to hunt on certain property, you got to have a permit, like lake beaches and all that, and or I'm sorry, yeah, public land, you got to get a permit, and usually you can't. But I'm thinking they're thinking of that because I'm pretty sure I've never heard of that. And I'm looking it up on Maine right now, and I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah. Have you found something that you think might be an archaeological artifact? You're welcome to reach out to the Maine Archaeological Society by completing this form. Take multiple clean digital
You're hold
photos.
on, hold on. You're welcome to, not
True.
that you
You're
have to.
welcome to. You're
Yeah,
welcome
I
to
would
reach out.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, please note response time may be different. If we determine that you have found an artifact, congratulations. It's up to you on how that artifact is handled in the future. You can keep it, donate it to an institution, blah, 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 blah.
Wow, interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think
Unauthorized,
somebody's full of it.
yeah, public service announcement. Unauthorized excavation of any public archaeological site should be reported to the local authorities. Federal law prohibits digging on federal property without a permit, so that's federal. State is ours are all different depending on where in the state you are. But yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, I think they don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, that's good though, because I'm like, what? Good.
Yeah, that would be horrible, but I mean, since you're doing a podcast, the only thing I can say is luckily you've never ever found anything yet.
Well,
Yeesh.
private. I've done private sites that I have found
Yeah,
awesome
no,
stuff.
but yeah, when
Yeah.
you thought it was everything had to be submitted, it was a joke. Just a joke.
Haven't found anything good, just pull tabs and trash.
Nope, never, never. Just pop cans and new coins.
I love it though.
That's it.
Today I was detecting an area that people were going by me and they were find anything good? Yep, trash. Nothing trash. Lots of trash. Find anything good? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? I love that. I'm like, stuff.
Stuff.
Yep. That's just my common response. If that, are you looking for something? No, not me. I'm not looking for anything. They're like, are you looking for somebody else? And I said, yeah, I'm looking for somebody else. Swinging my
Oh my
detector.
God. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I don't even remember. I guess the last thing I don't know the last thing I found, but we had a pretty good time with Gypsy here. I found
Mm.
quite a few buttons and things.
Did you get a Crotobel? Or was that
Yeah,
one of the other
yeah,
guys?
I did.
Yeah.
No, I got. Oh, I think I did.
I was like,
I
I thought
gave
I.
everything. Most of my finds were at Donnie's because the day before I hardly found. I found a couple buttons. We didn't find much of anything, and then that that Sunday, I was running around, and I the kids loved metal detecting so much that I handed my detector over and just helped them. And then I left a couple metal detectors with them, and they've got all kinds of property to metal detect. So it was cool to watch the kids like it so much, and so it was a lot of fun. And but I didn't get that much detecting in except well, I mean I didn't Sunday, but then Saturday at Donnie's I found quite a bit. Donnie's a good guy. I wish I'd get him on the podcast. I don't even think I can get him on the podcast, but he's got some neat sites down by him, and that's a really old area. The
Did you end up with like the last 4 days of rain?
last 4 days of what?
Did you just have a ton of rain over there too? Like 4 days of
Uh,
rain?
we had like three
Oh,
last week, and
I'm like, we were at a
it's been
serious drought before that. And I know earlier I was telling you about that excavation site where he dug down. I mean, it's taller than me. I can go stand in the footprint, and it's still got a couple feet above me, so probably like 6 or 7 feet, and it was dust. Um,
wow.
and I mean, one of the foolish things I did was, I went with my normal shovel and everything, and yet it's so dry, it's dust. Like you go to,
Uh-huh.
hit your leg and it just dust comes out. And I realized I should have brought my sand scoop. So I'm on these hills, trying to detect a hill of dirt that was pulled out. Each time you go in, dig in, the sand comes down and fills the hole. And here I am, trying to use my hand and the little shovel, my lesh, and I'm like, it took until after we've had 4 days of rain for me to go, I should have brought my sand scoop. Like I was at the beach. Like,
Oh, that's funny.
you live and you
I've
learn that.
never used my sand scoop for yeah, never done that. I would like to do some water hunting this summer though. Hopefully if I've got a day or two, like in between going back to work, or I feel like I can go hobble around on the beach enough. I want to go do that. I've got a couple places I'd like to try out. But
That's awesome. I love the river hunting. It's a lot of fun.
there's actually one place I want to go is a huge sandbar on the river.
Ooh.
I'd like to go try it. Yeah, to see what I can dig up. I don't know if I'd find anything, but I'd like to try. And then a lake that gets a lot of people coming to it.
I'm sure like lately, especially with the heat that hit um last week and a couple weeks ago, that's all they could do is get to water to try to stay cool. You're not used to having, almost a real feel 110-degree days in June.
Hmm.
So I bet there's stuff on
Yes,
that sandbar.
maybe. Hopefully,
Hmm.
hopefully. I don't know. I need to go find out. I'm not ready for that though, because that's some climbing down into the river kind of thing. But
Uh,
I would like to before the summer's up and when the water's down. I would. I'd like to do that. So what's everybody talking about in chat? Anything good? Tell everybody I'm missing.
Mike misses you all. Um, Bill says sandbars are trash traps. Everything gets washed into the river.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Bill Hayes said the ground there is hard as a rock. And I think you were saying that too. Your ground was as hard as a rock or turns to like concrete.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what we're all used to when it gets so hot. I lucked out by him excavating it.
What all are you finding there? And how are
So,
you finding stuff so deep?
um, our thought was that this site, you know that it was fresh growth of trees like within the last, I don't know, 80 years or so. There are three wells, and we knew of at least two foundations, one barn foundation or barn cellar hole, and one like that would have been a house cellar hole. And it's on the maps, not the house sites, but the road. This would have been a main road into town that's now the forest. So what we think is when the loggers came in mid 1800s, they pushed everything because with him digging
Uh,
down right now, the granite, cut granite is coming out and bricks are coming out. So whether they
oh
pushed it
wow.
over it to kind of make this hill but yeah, so this is a site that 2 years ago, John and I detected, and we were pulling buttons and thimbles and cufflinks and coins. This is the site that I found the Massachusetts half cent. Um,
Hmm.
and when they started excavating with him pulling out more cut granite and everything, they messaged us both and they're like, you guys need to get your butts back here. This is like, we can tell there's stuff here. They were pulling out even glass. John and I each got one. Sadly, they're broken, but you can tell they're panel marked bases that are just, oh,
Oh,
he found this blue that I've never seen this color blue before. And it was,
really?
yes, I'm like, I saw it and I'm like, what? It's broken. But
Oh,
it's such a pretty blue. Um, but I found, so since he started excavating, two thimbles, 19 buttons. Now, take a wild guess. Out of 19 buttons, how many have the shank?
are you going to tell me none of them?
Nope, I'm going to tell you more than that. Like majority of the buttons we find usually, they don't have shanks. But out of all of that, 15 have a shank.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, isn't that
Wonder why?
weird?
Wonder why that is. I'm wondering if they were like in a jar or something.
Not sure.
You know
And
what I
then
mean?
I think we did out of the 120 something buttons we found there prior, I think it was something like 80 or 90 had shanks. So with the
Oh
number of
wow.
thimbles we've pulled and stuff, we think maybe it was like a seamstress, like a tailor of some sort.
Oh maybe, maybe. Sorry, am I making too much noise?
No, it's
I'm sorry. I got to redo the dressing on my foot, and I just remembered I forgot I had to do it
no
because it's
worries.
like every 2 days. Am I too loud?
No, it's all right.
Is it really loud through my?
Yeah, it's a little loud.
Uh, well, hey guys, join me along. Join along while I change the dressing on my foot. Guess that's what we're
Yeah.
doing. Sorry, I was totally listening. I didn't know if it. I didn't know it would be so loud through the earbuds.
No, it's all
That's my
right.
bad.
So I just this
Hmm.
past weekend I found another KG. Um, I can't tell. I gotta compare it to the book. It still had way too much dirt on it. But I can see Britannia on the back. And then I think I found another half cent, but it's a hold half cent. So I'm really
Really?
hoping once I clean it up, I'm hoping it's another Massachusetts half cent or or older.
Wow, that would be so cool.
So that's 4 coins since he started excavating again. So
Wow.
yeah, so
Now,
I'm
has
fortunate.
Gypsy been up? When Gypsy was up there with you, did you guys get to metal detect much, like your
No,
area?
she didn't get to metal detect Maine at all. We ended up basically that was when she was sick is when we were here and I was like just go to sleep and I'll drive us to the button dump. So she rested while
Oh,
I drove us to the button dump and then we dug the button dump and then we on the way back to the Vermont airport, we stopped in a bunch of places in Vermont to see if we could detect. And um, we did end up getting a place to detect in Vermont. But no, yeah, she hasn't gotten to detect Maine yet. So gotta gotta get her
I'm
up here
sure.
to do that. I also I need a reminder, like, Texas is hot, but New England in the summer, especially in August, it's not only hot, but the humidity is disgusting.
Where I lived in Texas, we didn't really have the humidity, but I think down where Gypsy's at is so close to the coast. I think they deal with the humidity a
All
lot.
right. Because yeah, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I forgot. I gotta tell her that because it does. It gets gross. You
Yeah.
try to
Oh yeah, totally it's totally different. It
like you.
is.
We try to
I
get
mean
out.
like you can
Go ahead.
go ahead. Sorry. No, I was just going to say like it is to me I'd rather be 90 degrees and not humid than 75 and humidity. It's that humidity can make it so gross.
Yeah. Yep. It is. I mean, I'll try to do detecting early morning or late afternoon.
Right.
Once that would be. I mean, we did a couple last weekend. I went out and we had those. They're like the thing that goes around your neck that stays cool.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wet and like that dried up within an hour.
Did
It
it
was
help?
it did help for that, yeah, for that little time being, but after that it was like, did this really just dry? Like,
That's funny. Yeah, I have to sorry, I'm about done with the noise, I think. Maybe. Um I'm sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be so loud. Now I'm like halfway through it. Um I I got to keep my forehead and the back of my neck cool, or
mm,
at least from burning. I get sun on either one, and I'm done. I'm done. I just can't keep going. So I do pretty good with that. I have like a neck gaiter, and I've got like I recently got a. I don't know what it is. It's just like to keep your head cool.
yep.
It's almost like a cap. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Like a real thin, breathable cap
yeah.
that works real nice.
I might have to try that. I think the same company that does the arm shields that I wear makes those cooling hats or whatever that you like wet and it's like a sun cap.
Yeah, they're nice. It helps a lot.
Yeah, it's
Helps a
us.
lot.
Yeah, definitely you gotta hydrate when you're out.
Yeah, for
That's usually
sure.
the showstopper for me is when I run out of water and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, yeah. I can get through a lot as long as I'm hydrated, and mostly my forehead. But my forehead takes a lot less than the back of my neck. But either one, like I can't keep going. But it takes a lot less on my neck or on my forehead that I have to be done,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Like I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
can't do it. Can't do it. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, you kind of picked a bad time right now. I haven't been out in so long. I'm just like, yeah,
Ah, well, I'm still just
yeah.
glad to have you on. I'm sure everybody's glad to hear your voice. It's been a while,
Oh, that's really
right?
sweet of you to say, even though we know it's not true.
Oh,
That's
I'm
so sweet
sure.
of you.
I'm sure. So let's see. Is everyone in chat? Tell us. Tell Mike how much you've missed him.
Don't lie. No lying.
Uh,
No lying. That's funny. Did chat just go silent? I take it.
yeah, it's quiet.
They're like, "Where's Gypsy? Isn't Gypsy supposed to be on tonight? Where's
Gypsy will be
Gypsy?"
back.
Well,
Oh,
she.
they're not nice.
Oh,
Well,
oh.
we're just not going to say anything mean.
Okay, so there's nothing good to report. Nobody missed me. I gotcha. I mean, I kind of suspected it. We're okay.
Well, they don't miss your bear hogs or your butt grabs.
What? That's that's not true. Bill always liked them.
I know. He's saying he doesn't miss it though.
Oh, he's lying.
See, they're trying to be
I am not
hurtful.
even a little bit worried about that. I know he's lying. He's just trying to play it cool in the group like he never liked him. But we know him and I know the truth. Him and I know the truth. Yeah. Yep. No, I don't know. I do need to get out. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, but I just don't know how. I mean, I'm just not there yet. But and then like I said, I was just working so many hours. But hopefully, and then this fall I'll get back out again a lot. Like I said, I've been doing some research and getting some stuff gathered up, and
Yeah,
I
I
wish
mean,
I could figure out the lidar like you have, and I don't even know if Ohio has it. And you sent me the link once, and I got so busy I didn't even ever
y-
look at it. But
you absolutely have LiDAR. I've looked at the Ohio LiDAR before. So,
do we
I can,
seriously?
yeah,
Have
I
you
can
talked
definitely
about it
help
on the
you.
show?
A little bit here and there. I've basically, um, it's easier to do on like a one-on-one. Like if you have the app and we do
Yeah.
speakerphone and I can help walk you through it, I found is probably the easiest way to help somebody through it.
Oh my God.
Or somebody sends me their county or whatever, and what I'll do is I'll go, okay, where are you? Name a river or something like that, and I can basically pinpoint the location, and I'll send them like a screenshot that they can easily, zoom in on, or I'll send them the link so
Yeah.
they can zoom in on them for themselves. But yeah,
Wow, that's
I think
cool.
yeah, I think it'd be too hard to try to do it on the podcast. I mean, unless everybody at the same time like, "All right, everyone, do you have this app? Open this app. This is what you click." And each
Hey,
state,
one.
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, each state is under something different. So it like mine might be main lidar. Ohio's might
Okay.
actually be, ground something something Ohio, and then it could be L space I space D, all the states have them basically listed as something different. And then some states
Really?
don't have it. Like you can't have access to it. So
And are you sure Ohio there's access?
yeah, I've looked at yours before. Yep.
Seriously? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, last of the noise. Done.
But it's
Sorry,
good.
everybody.
You're recouping right now in the perfect time, summer being so hot, and then, the last 4 or 3 days of rain is kind of like a fluke. We haven't had rain in forever. So the ground
Yeah,
seriously was getting hard and hot, and it was not fun.
right. No, it's
So recouping during that time is probably the best. That way you do, I can definitely help you
yeah
with some
for me.
LiDAR and yeah, get
Hey,
you.
when you get the next chance you get, if you
Hmm.
get like I don't know how long it takes, but especially like this week, I know I won't be working, won't be ready to go back this week. Give me a call and show me.
Yeah,
Give me
absolutely.
a heads up, and I'll pull it up. But can do you do it on your phone or your computer or your computer?
I think you could do it on both. I like the app personally on my phone because to have it in my hand on my phone, to know how it works on your phone is probably the best to have. That way, when you're out in the field, you can bring it up. And you can actually
Okay.
walk and it shows like you getting closer or further away or
Oh my
um
God, seriously?
yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just give me a heads up and I'll put in my earbuds so I can be on my phone at the same time.
Yeah.
I would so appreciate that.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
so appreciate that. Yeah, good. I need that
And Paul, yes, I
for
am
sure.
going to dig stock. And yes, I am doing the LiDAR before I go. But I'm sure everyone is because New York is, you can do New York. Um, but
Yeah, you
yeah.
better not talk about it until then.
Oh, the amount of detectorists going and the amount of, there's plenty of detectorists out there that know LiDAR. It's just one of those,
Right.
we need to keep it secret because they're going to ruin our site. And, you know, it's all
Yeah.
well and good. You might think that a site's being, ruined or hunted out, but I think most of them are just cleaning the trash out.
You got to wait 6 months before you show anybody else in Ohio,
Yes,
okay?
yes, I could do that.
If they ask, just be like, "Hey, Mike knows how to do it," and then just send them my way, and then I'll like accidentally put them off. Oh yeah, I'll show you. I'll call you 6 months from tomorrow.
No,
Matter
you
of
go,
fact,
new phone, who dis?
yeah, yeah, that works too. Yeah, yeah. Then I'll show everybody down the road.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
hey, I
what
saw
I'm gonna
you
do.
messaged me like 4 months ago.
Yeah, oh my bad, completely missed that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Excuse me.
boy. Well, thanks again
But
for
yeah,
joining tonight.
oh, thanks for having me. And I miss everybody. I'm not on chat, so I'm just on my phone tonight. So I missed it. Missed
Yeah.
everybody in chat.
Well, you have to
Thanks
join.
for having me, though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
anytime that Gypsy can't come on, let me know, or vice versa. And then I'd love to do a show sometime with all three of us.
Yeah, that would be a
Gypsy
blast.
Gypsy gets my she gets my sense of humor, unlike everybody else.
Well, I was gonna say maybe once I've got more time in on the Apex, and then did
Yeah.
you end up getting one as well, or?
No, I didn't. I did. I've thought about it, and I might eventually. I've got so many detectors, though. I need to get rid of some stuff before I buy another one. I've got them everywhere.
I think of that the same thing too. I'm like, oh, there's a lot there.
Right?
Uh, but I like that one for
Goodness.
here, and I like this one for there.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to somebody recently, and I was telling them how I need to get rid of some of my detectors, and they're like, "Yeah, you should get rid of some." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I say that, but I really can't. I mean, I just can't." I don't know. I struggle with it because of that. Because like, oh, but I like this one for this type
Yep.
of detecting, and this one for that, and this is a great backup for fields, and this one goes really deep, and you know what I mean. So I really struggle. Like they all have their a purpose. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
not like yeah. So I struggle with that big time. I do.
Agreed. I'm right there in that same boat. I'm
Yeah.
paddling the boat with the number of detectors I have.
Right. Well, that's funny. Funny. Good. Are we ready to call it a night?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. I gotta
Yeah, you
go
need to
do
take
something.
care of yourself.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good.
All right.
I'll be out metal detecting cool.
Everyone in chat is saying get well, Mike, and get well
Don't lie
soon.
to
And
me,
no, no, for real.
and don't come back, and don't come on back on the podcast.
No,
And we don't miss you, and
no,
all
they
that.
missed you, and it was a great show. So
Bill lies. He just lies. That's all it is.
uh,
We'll do it again soon. I would love to, and maybe I can have more to talk about. I'm really tired and just wore out tonight. It kind of caught me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay up for a bit. Which usually I'm up. It was a long
Yeah.
weekend,
Yep.
family and everything. So, Amanda,
Uh,
thanks for having me on. I miss
yeah,
you. Get a hold of me.
absolutely.
Let's do LiDAR.
Over, Bill. And yes, thank you. And Bill wanted to know how many detectors over or under 10 over.
I'd have to go
You know
probably
it's
around
over.
10. Okay, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a few over.
But
Few
all
over. I
right.
need to get to the. Yep,
Well,
but I
thank you
can.
all
But I can.
and have a wonderful evening and stay safe. And we will be back with you next Monday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.